Back in the saddle. What's up, everyone? This is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC, brought to you by the mighty FanDuel. It's FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in America on the Believe Network. Oh, there's a couple things we want to talk about. We want to talk about the Odell Beckham, the OBJ, the catch. I have an autographed picture of the catch above my head. Yeah. I also want to talk about the Giants right now, or according to Mike Garafolo, veteran defensive lineman Shelby Harris is visiting the Giants today. The source says the 11-year veteran will be going strong for playing all 17 games for the Browns last season. It's an option, John Harbaugh and company. It adds experience up front to the defensive line. So we should just keep bringing in defensive. We have spent more money on the defensive line than any team in the NFL going into 2026. We have the most salary cap space allocated for the defensive line in 2026 than any other team in the NFL. Wouldn't that mean that the players that we have had previously are really good? Wouldn't that mean that? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there because I kind of think that it would mean that. Not to the fact that we have to keep bringing in guys left and right. It's one of those things. It's one of those days. We want to talk about the OBJ. We want to talk about Odell Beckham Jr. The potential from Odell Beckham to come back into the Giants, to be braced into the bosom of New York Giant fans.
That's what she said.
I'm not using a burner account. I'm just typing. Because there was political news and that affects the market. And I got to wonder if I got to jump back into the gold commodities even more. But ever since the other day with that flag football game and Odell had the recreation of, let's say, the catch, you are starting to see now people like, well, you know, what a performance. Okay, they weren't even playing against NFL players. And at points in times when they were playing against NFL players, it looked to be definitely a scrimmage. And I love it because we have
stupid giant Twitter post.
We're going to go. It's not even a post. It's a YouTube page. It's going to be Chode Sports. How Adam Schefter is saying that he's coming to the Giants. Those guys are such a fucking joke. I'm sorry. When you just make up shit and blatantly lie and you have no fucking talent, you are a fucking joke. People forget, and I'm not sure why people forget, but OBJ has I'm not going to say a history because he was only there for the 23 season. He's worked with John Harbaugh. It's not like this is an unknown commodity to John Harbaugh. Signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens, caught his first touchdown pass. First touchdown. Yeah, it was first touchdown on his 31st birthday in week 9. Week 11, if you remember, he had the 4 receptions for 116 yards, which was his first 100-yard game since 2021. He appeared in 14 games, started 6, 35 receptions, 565 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns, and then was released on March 13th of 2024. So John Harbaugh isn't like just kicking the tires of Odell. He's known him now going back almost 3 years. And of course it's you know what, listen, if you think of the Giant great wide receivers, and what's up, Slider? What's up, Jane Stein? What's up, Big Joe? What's up, everyone else? What's up, Mr. Greg and everyone else in the chat? When you think of great New York Giant wide receivers, Odell Beckham has got to be, around the top of the list. Plain and simple, of all time. You know, Amani Toomer with his 9,450 yards, whatever it is, has got to be up there. Frank Gifford, who went towards the flanker position after he nearly got buried and destroyed against Concrete Charlie. You got Victor Cruz, undrafted free agent, who everybody loved, had that one big season for 1,536 yards. My favorite player, the premier vertical threat, the guy that invented the spike, and he averaged 1,000 yards for 2 or 3 years. I can't remember. That's Homer Jones from 64 to 69. Look it up. Homer Jones invented the spike. Hakeem Nicks, good solid career. Plaxico Burress, when he wasn't shooting himself in the leg at the strip club, high value target. But all of them outside of the receiving yards, because I believe Amani Toomer had 9,400 to Odell Beckham's 5,400. There has not been an explosive player for a period of time, for a good 4-year consecutive period of time, than OBJ. He was 3 consecutive seasons of 1,000 yards with 10 plus touchdowns. But guys, that was between 14 and 18. It just literally makes it's like Victor Cruz. I love Victor Cruz. I think Victor Cruz is a great guy. I think Victor Cruz is a great player. I've loved his career. I thought he should have hung it up with the Raiders. I think she went out the Raiders with the Bears. But Victor Cruz now, especially when he first initially retired, he was always on the field at Giants Stadium, always on the field. And I always thought the guy should just retire, just hang it up. But he seemed like he was hunting for a job in Giant Land. And I kind of have a feeling this is OBJ all over again. This is Odell Beckham Jr. This is going to be the Colin Kaepernick. This is going to be the white whale. This is going to be this reunion. And let's be honest, reunions pretty much never work out. And I've seen in the comment, you are correct, on October 7th, he was suspended for 6 games by the NFL for violating the league's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. So these reunions, and don't forget to hit the like button, guys. These reunions barely ever work out. These reunions are not these things that you look at and say, you know what, we should bring Odell back because it's good. He left on rocky terms as it was. Yes, the stupidity in reference to ownership and Gettleman to move on from after you gave him a contract made zero sense to me. I was upset when they traded Odell to Cleveland. I was one of those guys that, like I said, he was a guy that brought excitement to his team. He had that one season, of course, went to the McAdoo that we went to the playoffs, and he dropped the big pass early in the first quarter against the Green Bay Packers. But we're not going to get into that because that would just be bad. That would just irk me. But he is a guy now that's at the wrong side of 30. If you think about what's on the Giant roster right now for wide receivers, you have to think, is he better than Malik Neighbors? No. Is he better than Darius Slayton right now? No. Is he better than Darnell Mooney right now? No. Is he better than Calvin Austin? No. Calvin Austin may not have the pedigree as Odell Beckham, but Calvin Austin can play special teams. Is he better than Isaiah Hodgkins? Maybe. Is he better than Darius Slayton? No. So what would be the necessity to bring this guy in besides nostalgia purposes for a head coach who has already coached Odell and knows what he could do, but knew what he could do with Odell when he was 3 years younger? Oh, what's this mug? Hold on. I believe it's a Believe mug. You get 1 million downloads in less than a year on your podcast. They give you a coffee mug. I don't know. This was actually, I shouldn't say that. That's a little facetious. This was actually a very nice gift from Believe. So everyone knows I love coffee and I love mugs. So I got to give, and also Believe knows I drink coffee all the time on the streams. So what do you give somebody? The ultimate gift? A coffee mug. Black Rifle tastes just as salty in Believe mugs than it does in every other mug. If you were a contender, if you were a team that was on the cusp of making the playoffs, maybe on the cusp of a Super Bowl run, and you needed a stalwart wide receiver who maybe can turn back, I can turn back time, who could potentially turn back time, maybe turn back the clock for a game or two towards the end of the season, then I would look at Odell. But if you're sitting there looking at this as an experience that you want to bring in this guy to be part of the depth chart, to be a major contributor, no. I just can't do it. There's and all the people that want to do it, there's no philosophy in doing it. What is I just saw somebody new. So we'll just call him NY Giant. Eco NY Giants neighbors is publicly asking for Odell like countless other Giants. They would not clash. I don't care if they wouldn't clash. I give two shits if they would clash or not. Odell is no longer Odell. Think about that for a second. Odell Beckham is not the player people remember when he was 23 years old. Odell Beckham is now the player that people remember for the Peds. He's 33. He'll be 34 in November. He's not the same. He is not the same player. He does not bring anything to this team. He brings zero to this team. You know what? I'll give you a great example. I'll give you a fantastic example about Odell Beckham. Odell and I have the exact same amount of catches in the NFL in 2025. We have the exact same amount of catches. And like I said, I am a humongous Odell Beckham fan. I've said it a million times before. It will never, here we go. There it is right there. There's the catch. It will never leave my wall. I was there. It was a moment in Giant history that you could never go back on. But how long ago was the catch? How long ago do we? And that's why I called this video. Is it talent or nostalgia? And bringing back Odell on this team would just be nostalgia. It brings it is no clinical football purpose to bring a guy that's going to be 34 in November who has not played since 24, and he didn't even fully play in 24, to bring him in on this team when you are trying to rebuild your franchise. Look at how he played in Miami in 2004 when he was 32. Look how he played. He looked shot then. And just because he had a good game in a glorified expedition unknown. Oh, wait. Because everything else on this channel, hold on, wait a minute. It's Expedition Unknown. Exhibition game doesn't mean that he can play in the NFL anymore. I'll give you a great example. You know, not too long ago, I played in I've always said it before. I was a much better basketball player than I ever was a football player, but I wasn't tall enough to, and my skill set did not lend to what basketball should be in college basketball. But you know, a couple years back, playing in a pickup game in the Y, was dominating, and this was in my late 30s. I was dominating, but it didn't mean that because I'm playing a pickup game at the Y that I should go and try out for the G League. Because my career had already passed myself. Joe Ferries, what's up, Big Joe? Just another red herring, just a Russell Wilson massive upgrade. Just bullshit. Team isn't dumb enough to do this. I want to talk about Cam Scatterbo and the CTE stuff again. We talked about it briefly, but evidently there's more shit coming out. Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart concern me. I had someone, and I'm not going to say who, but I had someone tell me today that their fear is that a backfield, a Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo would be one of the dumbest backfields in the NFL. But let's just stay on Odell for a second. So you have a guy that has not had a good season, a quality season since basically Cleveland in 19. Let's look through Odell real quick. And I'm going to get to the chat too. Let's look through Odell for a second. 74 receptions, 135 yards. Then he had the injury for only 319. Then he played with Cleveland and the Rams for a total of 537 yards. He didn't play at all in 2022. He played with Baltimore for 14 games, 6 starts in 23 for 335 receptions for 565 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then he sucked wind in Miami. He played in 9 games, 9 receptions, 55 yards for 6.1. Right there, it tells me 24 he was shot. He was shot. He was done at 32. But now we want a guy coming in here at 34 for nostalgia purposes. And don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit the like. For nostalgia purposes, for a team that you are trying to rebuild into something special, you're trying to rebuild into something anew, and you have an organization that is literally going in the right direction in John Harbaugh and some of the moves they're making. And if you take a look at these contracts from Dawn, I have to tell you that I give a strong belief in Dawn. Isaiah Likely's contract incentives, maximum $2.4 million in performance bonus, playing time, and team performance incentives. To get $250 extra $1,000, he's got to make at least 60 to 69 receptions. To get the max of $750K, he's got to have 80 plus. To get the max incentives in reference at $750,000 for yards, he's got to have 850 plus. To get the max incentives for $750K, he's got to get 10 touchdowns. I mean, look at these deals, and now that they've come out, and you look at them more and more, you're like, all right. We're literally doing things correctly. We are not just throwing money down a well. We are building contracts for the future. And that's something that we have not been able to say for a long time. That we have team-friendly contracts for players who are in their prime or coming into their prime. That's crazy. When is the last time that a Giant team had to be able to say that? I love this. Isaiah Likely at 26 years old, who was going to be a staple in this offense because of everything he can do. Salary cap his salary is $6 million. He only counts for 2% of the salary cap. Jermaine Illuminor. I love Jermaine Illuminor now, not just because he wore a double-breasted suit, which was fucking awesome, because that's so OG. He's got a $5 million salary at a 1 point. He only counts for 1.97% of your salary cap, and he's your starting right tackle. It's crazy if you look at these numbers. What's more insane though is Greg Newsome right now is 10th on our list in reference to salary cap. His cap hits $8 million for almost 3% of the salary cap. And that's for Greg Newsome. That's the only signing I really do not understand. That is the only signing I have not fallen in love with. Patrick Ricard counts for 0.93% of our salary cap at $2.7 million. Again, it's Odarius Washington, the safety. Not a big fan of the signing, but he counts for 87% of the salary cap. 0.87 at $2.6 million. These are great fucking contracts. Jason Sanders only counts for $1.2 million. Of course, he's coming off the injury. He's probably going to compete with Graham Gano. Xavier Gibson, $1.1 million. I mean, you take a look at what the Giants have done with their contract situation right now. It's phenomenal. Now the salary cap situation, we're still a little murky. You have to remember we have about $3 million in salary cap space, but we also have to remember we have to have X for our rookie class. Now the problem is this: people will see the Giants need to have $15 million for their rookie pool. Let's bring up the rookie pool. I'm looking down, but that does not mean I'm using a burner account. NFL 2026, it means I'm typing. Rookie pool. Let's see here. Rookie pool rankings. So here we go. Let's see exactly what the Giants. Let's see here. Where do they have rookie pool salaries? Rookie pool, NFL 2006 rookie pool allotment. How about we do allotment? Allotment ranking. Here we go. Let's try that. Well, I don't have the numbers. I know I was very unprofessional today. I don't have the numbers. But if we take a look at the value, even if we have 12, even if we have to have 15, let's just say it's $15 million in the rookie pool. We don't have, and it's going to be more than that. We don't have to have the full 15. We only have to have the guaranteed portion of the contract available in salary cap space. That's it. So the Giants can easily figure this out. We could still take some of the when the Paulson Adebo and the Holland contract guaranteed a couple weeks back. We can then take that money and convert it into bonus money because the bonus money is automatically guaranteed, but the salary is already guaranteed. And you are going to push some money into 27, like we've talked about before, but you're not going to push a huge amount. And it makes sense to do that. And if, like I said, everyone was talking, and I try to explain to people, everyone was talking about we have hundreds of millions of dollars in 27. No, we got $50 million now. Because you did the Burns restructure. So Burns' cap it is now $44.4 million for the next 2 years. Dexter Lawrence is $26 million. Andrew Thomas is $26. Paulson Adebo is $20. Holland is $18. Next year is when we have to start looking at the salaries for likely, which will be $17. Jermaine Alumero will be $17, but we then will be 2 years into the contract. So I don't have no problem with that. So you're getting that bonus year almost in the beginning in reference to cap relief, to move the money into a year in 2027 when we had cap space. So it just makes total sense. Like Joe says, make up the numbers like everyone else does. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. Yeah. You said it right. Joe, that just fucking wrapped it up. I had the number somewhere, but I'm gonna let's jump back in. Let's jump into the chat real quick and see what everyone else has got to say, because there's a couple other things I want to talk about. James Stein says, good afternoon, Tim. Hope my day's actually going very well. Thank you very much for asking. It's been a long day, but it's going well. Greg says, I'm a huge no on Odell train. He was great for a while, but I'm sorry we can't keep playing like we used to, no matter how much we wish. This would be the Odell move would be a Shane Dable type move, a publicity move. That's what it reminds of. Slider says no to Odell coming. So many Giant content creators want something like this to happen. Too stupid to have brains. Too many injuries. He's done. Just stop it. Well, he made that catch in the game in the expedition unknown. He made that catch in the Now I'm just tongue tied today. But he made that catch in the flag football game. Last year, Greg said last year was suspended for 10 games for PEDS violation. You're right, but I think it was 6 games. But you're 100% right. James says, what do you think Odell's potential signing is? I think it's this. This is what it should be. It should be zip, nada, zero. Move on. Next. What about the defense signing, Tim? Good or bad? I think you're going to do a lot of work on the defense in the draft. I would not be shocked if the first 3 picks went defense. Boy, that's some great coffee. Hold on, watch this, because we're all about product placement. I believe that is some great coffee. And I believe that you should go out right now and buy Gary Reason's book, Reasons to Believe, right now on Amazon. Oh, I'm a shill. Someone was like, you've sold out. Like, yep. Sure have. And I always remember that Simpson episode when we talked about it on the show with McBain, the guy, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this critic is, because his movies are terrible, and he goes, McBain, how do you sleep at night? And he goes, on a big pile of money with lots of beautiful women. Nope. OBJ is too old. Stupid overreaction. Geez, you're right. Joe says no, big no for me on OBJ. He is no longer a starting caliber NFL wide receiver. G-men have adequate depth of position. He's not a mentor for young players. Hard pass for me. The mentorship thing. I could tell you from experience that mentorship is at times highly overrated. And I think now with these generational players coming up, I think it's even more a non-factor. Back in the 70s, back in the 80s, back in part of the 90s, I can agree with that. But mentorship now is not that big thing because kids come out of school now. Like you got the NIL deals. A lot of these kids come out making more money in college than they do their first year in the pros. So they already have an agent, they already have a lawyer, they already have their marketing people in place. So they already have a leg up. It's like the NBA. The NBA right now is kind of screwed. Even though this draft class coming up is going to be freaking awesome. You got a bunch of guys that would have been second round picks coming into the league, but they're making more money playing in college than they would as a second round pick or in the G League. So I think now with this added professionalism in college, I don't think mentorships is the same way again. Chode Sports again, how stupid. He was what, 35, 36? Too bad. No, he'll be 34 in November, Odell will. Yes, I know, guys. I haven't figured out how to turn the damn commercials off. Just skip the commercials. Haven't fucking figured out how to turn them off yet. And the goofballs aren't around to tell me how to do it. I'm going to get to it. Don't worry. Yes, late sign OBJ just to be a mentor. Could bring him back to prove it deal. What do you think about that, Tim? You're going to do a prove it deal. It's going to be $1 million. Well, it's going to be 1.2 million. Non-guaranteed. I don't need the distraction. I have a brand new head coach, brand new offense quarter, brand new defense quarter, brand new everything. I'm not going to, you know what it is? It's like Christmas. I got all these brand new toys. Oh, I got the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. You know, I got the I got the remote control car. I got all these cool new toys, and I'm ready to play with them and put them together, do everything. But then all of a sudden, I'm going to take some old batteries and shove them in and hope they work. Hope the Duracell batteries from 1998 are going to work. Let's sign Odell Beckham to be a mentor. Sarcasm.
You're bad. Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
There we go. We're almost getting there. Slider says, I want to put Hakeem Nicks up there but the injuries hurt him too. It's Monty Toomer. Monty Toomer is probably the greatest giant wide receiver. The most explosive giant wide receiver. I would have to go OBJ, Homer Jones. Williams says, I'd rather see OBJ catch the ball than Slayton drop it. But hope OBJ hasn't caught a pass in over a year. Outside of the one in the flag football game against Jake Paul, he hasn't caught a pass. He's going to be 34 in November. Slider said, so many years, giant content creators have wanted OBJ to come back. It's not happening. Just stop it. I agree. And while you're in the room, please don't forget to hit the like. Well, you just answered my question. I'm great. Let's see here. Odell 5 years from now is better than prime Slayton. Actually, if you take a look at Darius Slayton's stats, no. If you compare Darius Slayton's stats the last 3 seasons to Odell Beckham's, no. Darius Slayton has 1,900 yards in 3 years with eight touchdowns. Odell's got like 400 yards. No, it's actually not true. OBJ and Leak would probably clashed at the same point in time. Yeah, I think so. Tim get at me. So glad you went live today. Oh, I appreciate it. I wasn't planning on going live because there's really not a lot of news, and giant YouTube right now is kind of in the crapper in regards to analytics and everything because there's really nothing going on. So I wasn't really going to go back into full swing until April again, but I was like, let me just jump on the mic. So giant content creators want OBJ whose tires are freaking worn out. No. We need to get to the bottom of all this. What are we getting to the bottom of? What am I getting to the bottom of? OBJ? Well, he ain't coming. I got to the bottom of it. Let's see here. William says Harbaugh had OBJ for $15 million. I want him for $2 million. That's what I'm saying. Harbaugh knows OBJ. He knows he was basically a shot player 3 years ago. Do you really think John Harbaugh, who wants to make a statement in 26, who talks about culture, talks about winning, talks about the playoffs, talks about building the right way, is going to bring in a soon to be 34-year-old wide receiver who's shot? No, I don't see it. Neighbors is publicly asking. Yeah, we publicly ask, but that doesn't mean anything. Don't need the OBJ to retread under a new regime. Sorry, not sorry. I agree with you. I'm not sorry either. Let's see here. Big Joe says, as for Shelby Harris, it's a 1-year veteran minimum type deal. I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it, as it proves a capable interior defensive lineman and the depth of the professionalism run defense of both INT and no tackle. I don't listen. The Shelby Harris deal, it hasn't happened yet. But here's my problem. Here's my problem right now with the Shelby Harris deal. We seem to be bringing in all these guys. We seem to be bringing in these guys that can be true nose tackles, that can positionally be. Now, don't forget, Shelby Harris is not a big guy. I think Shelby Harris is like 6. I don't know. I think he's like 6 feet, 6'2", like 280. He's not a big guy. So he's not going to be that prototypical defensive tackle. He played defensive end up till 23 with Cleveland. You know, he played 17 games. His, and again, we take a look at leading the point of attack. The last 2 seasons, 18 solo tackles, 19 assists. What does that mean? He's not leading the point of attack. 15 solo, 17 assists last year. It's a depth piece if they sign it. But why do you keep bringing in guys when we have the greatest defensive tackle in Giant history and Dexter Lawrence? Someone's saying something there. Body couldn't hold up an entire 18. I don't think it can hold up an entire 6. Sterling Shepard has more in the tank. If you, Joe, you know what, Joe? I'm not gonna. We're gonna have Joe Is it Spano or Spano? I can never pronounce it. I was debating that. We're gonna have Joe on. We're gonna pick a time to have Joe come on in the next couple streams. So we're working on that. We're gonna do the Mongo and Joe show as you're hitting the like button. Don't forget to hit the like. Sterling Shepard has more in the tank. You're right. Tim says also, Tim Scattaboo was a moron about the concussion. He can't spell CTE with Cam Scattaboo. Let's see here. I think it's cheap enough to find out. 3rd down and red zone packages. Okay. I've heard this comment before with OBJ. I'm going to tell you something. You want to bring him down in 3rd down and red zone packages. That's what you want to bring. And I'm not making fun of you here, brother. I'm just going to talk to you from football perspective. Are you going to have OBJ return punts? Are you going to have OBJ return kickoffs? Are you going to have OBJ on either the punt or kickoff coverage team? Are you going to have him lined up in punt formation or on the field goal unit? Your 4th wide receiver or your 5th wide receiver has to play special teams. There's no qualms. The dangerous David Sills never really made the Giants because David Sills cannot play special teams. They can't. He couldn't. That's why he never made this team. If you are going to be the 4th or 5th guy, you have to play special teams. OBJ is not going to do that. Slider said 10 years ago, maybe. As we as a Giant organization don't need him in the locker room. Listen, I can't tell you if he's a bad locker room guy because I haven't really heard anything the last couple of years about OBJ being a bad locker room presence. When he was in his prime and he was here when he was a bad locker room guy, yeah. but I haven't heard anything recently about it. Greg says that's one of the best catches in history, along with the helmet catch. I agree 100%. Slider says James Scatterbo probably already concussed himself every time he banged his head repeatedly against the wall. Joe Ferry said just another red herring. Oh, we got to that one already. Situational third down wide receiver best for veteran minimum. But again, he's not going to be a third wide receiver on this team. He's not. That third wide receiver position is probably going to go to Darius Slayton, with technically your second wide receiver is going to be Darnell Mooney. And Isaiah Likely is going to be your slot guy, your tight end guy, and also someone that plays on the outside. But like I said, if you cannot play special teams, you first played in college, I played special teams. Right at the first couple of weeks, because that's what you had to do. I was way on the depth chart, and I played special teams because that's what you do when you are that position. If you are going to be the fourth or fifth wide receiver, you better fucking return kickoffs. Scatterbo at 40 will be very scary. I think Scatterbo at 28 is going to be scary. B Will, what's up, B Will? We already had Odell Prime. What does Odell make us better? No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. You're right. Cam Scat is turning into a gimmick at this point. I already said it. With Cam Scat, and I'm hoping I'm going to be wrong. I think he's gonna be Icky Woods without that big season. Icky Woods, helped propel the Cincinnati Bengals, the Icky Shuffle, all the touchdowns, all the commercials. Then he got hurt, and the career was over. Never the same guy. And I worry that Cam Scatterbo is heading down that route. Yeah, mentor them on financial investments. Listen, right now, like I said, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to get into commodities, jump into commodities now. If you want to get into gold, you want to actually buy physical gold. Gold's already up in the secondary market right now. Gold's already up $51 an ounce. I was hoping it was going to drop down to $4 so I could jump back in with some bigger purchases. But I think with the news coming out right now, I think that's going to open up the oil price. I think that's going to open up everything. I kind of wish I would have bought gold yesterday. Odell is yesterday's move on. Listen, CT Hiker, I'd like to move on, but I don't create the topics. The giant community creates the topics. Joe, that was beautiful. I can cry. Let's see here. Scatterbo was clearly joking like everyone does when talks about his CTE. He also talked about asthma. Nobody asked him an asthma question. Listen, I hope to God that Cam Scatterbo has a team in place that can help him navigate his finances and everything after football. Because you hear some of these interviews, you see some of his antics. And I've already said this. I said this last year. The Cam Scatterbo effect is going to get very, very tiring if he's not putting up 100-yard games and multiple touchdowns. It's going to wear on people. It's already wearing on the general public. And like I said, he talked about asthma. No one brought up asthma. He's the one that brought up that asthma is fake. I am going to punch YouTube. Because I can't. I got a problem with StreamYard right now. I got a problem with YouTube. Hit the like button for me, please. Cam Scatterbo is a kind of a meme, joking his ass off. He's a moron, sarcastic. Yeah, that's why he had to apologize. You're right. You have to be more equity in the league before you can joke about CTE. Just my opinion. First of all, you shouldn't joke about CTE. That is a true thing. And someone who has had 11 known concussions, there are certain days you feel certain effects. You feel, so I mean, I don't think that's something you joke about at all. It goes to show you just how stupid and immature he is. We've all been 22 before. You just have to have a real concept of time. You don't understand how much you can actually live for. Greg said, OBJ said he didn't want to play at the turf at MetLife again. Oh yeah, that's great. Mr. Greg is correct. OBJ also did say he was what you call it. He was not wanting to play on the turf. But was that before they changed out the turf? Because you got to remember they had that crappy turf, and now they have this phenomenal turf because there's no seams in the turf whatsoever. You know, there's no in this the new turf is so smooth and it's just so wonderful that there's no seams anywhere in this turf whatsoever that you can visibly see. Just throwing that out there. I could turn back time. Winston says OBJ just wants another check from somewhere. He does. And I agree with that. Dawn next year will be GM. I've already said this before. I think Dawn is pushing to be general manager or should be pushed. I don't think she should be pushed. I think she should be immediately considered for general manager after the season. If you want to wait a year, see how it all shakes out, but I think she's doing right now. I think she's doing a phenomenal job. James Stein says the helmet catch was better and it meant more. Was in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's true. But the OBJ catch was a generational catch. People will talk about the David Tyree catch, but the stage that the OBJ catch is on was not as big as the Super Bowl. But it was the physical catch itself that people just kind of drool over. A lot of people say the Tyree catch was luck. OBJ had already been building a resume of work, a body of work before that catch. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit different. Let's see here. Joe OBJ, super famous. He can't do a podcast like every other fucking athlete. Add Chris Washburn to scat and dart, and you have one of the meaning Casper's got a 48 in the SATs, started scoring ports 400 at a time, maximum 1600. Chris Washburn, biggest game with the Golden State Warriors. I believe PJ I can't say PJ's name today. I believe his biggest game as a pro was 17 points. Oh, I love the suit. Jermaine Illuminor suit. Oh, fucking loved it. He went OG double-breasted. I'm going to say this again. He went OG double-breasted, baby. That's a suit and a half. That takes a man. Let's see here, James. I don't think OBJ knows how to do a podcast. Well, I don't know how to do a podcast either. That's why you got people to do it for you. Joe Ferry says, any O-line gives a team discount, shows up looking like a star running back from the superstar running back from the 90s. It's full-blown love of the hog mollies. Oh, I agree. Double-breasted suits have been making a comeback in several years. They are very much back in style with a more tapered look they had back in the 80s. Well, first of all, double-breasted were also in the 90s. I wore double-breasteds in the early 2000s. And yes, it is it was now more of a tapered look. That was in the early 2000s. But I mean, I still have some awesome Armani double-breasteds in the closet. I might wear one on the stream one day, just as Jermaine Illuminor. He knows how to spend money. Winston says, can we still get up to 40 million in cap? Can we still get up to about 40 million in cap space if needed? Yes, but you will wreck your cap. You will wreck your cap going forward in 27 and 28 because you would have to extend Dexter Lawrence and you would have to restructure Andrew Thomas. There are contracts right now that we don't need, unless you're planning on making a big move. We don't need to do that because we got the draft coming up. I would like to still move on from Kayvon because that's that's 14 million. I would also like to see us get back into the third round because, like we said before, this is a weak draft in regards to talent. Next year's draft is going to be a much heavier, deeper draft. But positionally, this is a good draft for the Giants. So I'd like to kind of see that as well. Don't make up the numbers like everyone else does. Don't let the facts get in your way. We try not to. Big Mark, what's up? Big salute to Big Tim. I'm doing good, Mark. How you doing, brother? Gotta be excited, Mark. I'm kind of pissed off about training camp. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not going to West Virginia. I'm not going to West Virginia. I have not missed training camp in years. I am not going to West Virginia. Just can't. Slider says it's not happening. Me going to West Virginia or OBJ coming here? I am not going to fucking West Virginia. Greg says, I like the question you gave Gary about Dexter Lawrence and his current production. You gotta, we gotta give Gary Reason some flowers real quick, because Gary, there are multitudes of two-time guests on this show. Carl Banks is one of them. Matt Sims is one of them. Gary Reasons is now one of them. But Gary Reasons came back-to-back weekends. And then I love it because then he was like, when I initially were talking about him coming back, he was like, well, I could stay for like 45 minutes. And then he was a little bit late. And then, of course, then he stays for another hour and a half. So, and then he gave us the private tour of his office. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it, which I thought was phenomenal. He really did give some great insight into Dexter Lawrence. And we made a short out of it, but I released it at the wrong time. So if you want to go look at that, I would go look at that. But Gary's got his book coming out, of course. The book is already available. It's Reasons to Believe on Amazon right now. So just run over to Amazon, type in Reasons to Believe. And we've talked about it before. You join the 250 Club. You go to the RTB 250 Club. And what does that 250 Club do for you? The first 250 people that buy the book, I don't know where we're at on the numbers, will get an autographed book. Book cover copy from Gary, from Gary Reasons. So make sure you go and do that right now. Reasons to Believe. You want to go there and also put like a nice comment or something. You're going to put a nice comment in there about me. Just saying, because maybe we can use Gary Reason's knowledge of the New York Football Giants and get like, I don't know, Harry Carson on or somebody. We can go with that. What is what I just saw a super chat and all super chats go to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Zach Attack says R0B is very happy about training camp in West Virginia. Is R0B in West Virginia? I didn't know if he was in West Virginia. Is he in West? I'm going to assume that he is in West Virginia. I don't even know what's up with Rob. I haven't talked to Rob in a long time. I can turn back time. See a lot of Joe. Let's see here. There was Big Mark. Joe is on a leash, and literally any stupid thoughts about the leash gets pulled. I love it. I'm trading back with the 37th pick. And agree the first three picks should be linebacker, corner, D-line. Here's the thing. We have to get back into the third round. We have to. And I agree. My first two picks are going to be, and I've said this before, I'm going Sonny Styles, and I would probably go Josiah Trotter. And like I said, Josiah Trotter has been moving up the draft boards. I thought we could get him in the third round. But right now, Josiah Trotter, for some, I don't know for what reason, this happens with players. He is moving up the board. There's some people that like Josiah Trotter now a little bit over Anthony Hill and CJ Allen. And like I said, Trotter is a physical guy, a big presence. He's not a 3-down guy. He has those things that the tape doesn't truly measure. He's a downhill. This is why I love Josiah Trotter at 6'2", 240. I got Sonny Styles at 6'5", 245. I forget what Jermaine Edmonds is. But then I got Josiah Trotter at 6'2", 240. Who is a downhill tackler who attacks without hesitation. He's not a 3-down guy. He's not going to be a guy that's going to line up, and he's not going to be a guy that's going to, cover the tight end or cover that speedy back. But he is a guy that does not hesitate when he is going down fucking hill. You send that kid downhill, forget about it. So then I'm going to take Sonny Styles, Josiah Trotter, and then in the third round, 6'5", 330 pounds, out of Florida, I'm rolling the dice on Caleb Banks in the third round. If Caleb Banks is sitting there in the third round, I'm rolling the motherfucking dice. Yeah, the guy's got problems. Yeah, the guy's got some issues. His tackling technique, well, probably will frustrate the shit out of you. But that's why we have coaches. This is a guy he needs to dip into the repartee in reference to being a pass rusher, but I don't need him as a pass rusher. I need his natural power and strength at the point of attack. Because you know what that kid's going to do? He's going to collapse the pocket, because he's got a straight motherfucking bull rush. I need him to tie up two guys on the interior line so my new athletic linebackers can wreak fucking havoc. And release the dogs of war. I'm telling you. This is what you do. You build a defense. You've already kind of done it in free agency with your offense. Let's take this defense and let's build it strong. Let's be strong. Joe Ferry says, coaches have said for 40 years the toughest player to coach and manage is the aging superstar. OBJ is an aging superstar. Even if you give him
$1 million.
I still think that's too much. It's the league minimum, so you have to give him that. But I still think that's too much. We're at 29 likes. Let's get to 50 likes. My wife got mad because we didn't get Gary 100 likes. Joe says, wait, I need an educated OBJ opinion. What does the Giant Collective show? Listen, Joe, I'm trying to be nice now. To content creators. Even the stupid ones. I'm trying to be nice. God, Joe. You're ruining my image. I think I did that all myself. Don't worry about commercials, Tim. Buy more gold and silver. I wish I did. I really wish I did. I really wish I bought gold yesterday. Because now we're up $59. We're up $59 an ounce. Silver's up $2 an ounce. Palladium is down only 30 cents, but platinum is up 47. Don't worry, I'm not reading a burner account. I'm looking at my gold prices. I wish I did. I could still jump in, but I want to see what happens tomorrow. No, Malik, I'm gonna get fucked. It's gonna continue to go up with everything going over in the Middle East right now. Joe says, can we sign Brandon London to be third wide receivers and push back him into the Hall of Fame window? Come on, Joe, man. I'm being a professional now. I'm being nice. Fuck being nice. Joe, I was lying. You know I'm not gonna ever be nice. You know what I am nice about, though? I'm not always nice about the mighty FanDuel. It's FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America. This is what you need to do, guys, right now with the FanDuel. Download the app. You're a new customer. I'm going to tell you something special. I'm going to give you something special as a new customer. I'm not going to give it to you. FanDuel's going to give it to you. But I want to talk to you about this, especially with the NCAA tournament. Get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. You're at the tournament. You get up to I'm going to say this again. For the mighty FanDuel, get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Use your bet reset token to get started. This is all you got to do. Sign up. FanDuel.com. Download the fucking app. After signing up, you'll be awarded one bet reset token every day for 10 days. Your bet reset token may be used on any wager. Select your wager, toggle on bet reset token. Place your bet, and if you lose the bet, you will be refunded in bonus bets of up to maximum of $300. Refund credits take 72 hours from bet settlement. Refund will be issued with a non-withdrawable bet bonus that expires 7 days after receipt. The bet reset tokens expire 24 hours after receipt. It's like playing with the house fucking money. How can you not do that? How can you not go to FanDuel right now? I'll wait. Because I'll refresh my page here and see how many likes we're at. 33 likes. Okay, 33 likes. But like I said, get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. You can bet on the tournament. You can bet on the NBA. We got baseball coming up to bet on. And not only that, FanDuel's got casino games, got fantasy, got sports, we got the racing, you got FanDuel TV. There's so many promotions going on right now. Did I mention baseball? Did anyone mention baseball? Sorry, I gotta be. Did anyone mention baseball?
Tim, yeah, I mentioned baseball.
Get 30% profit boost token to use on top to hit X plus regular season home runs 2026 and our regular season home run 2026 MLB future wagers. You get a 30% profit boost token. Come on, guys. You can bet baseball. You can bet basketball. You can do it. You get jumping. Your bracket may be fucked, but just go to the college basketball tab. Take a look at Wichita State against Tulsa. St. Joseph against New Mexico. Illinois State versus Dayton. Come on, guys. FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in America. Go to FanDuel.com. On what? The Mighty Believe. Tim, Amani Chuma's rookie year. I remember the kickoff. He has a touchdown. I remember thinking, holy shit, he's fast. Walter says Beckham is washed. I agree. Isn't Slayton and Mooney virtually the same player? Yes. Except Darnell Mooney has a 1,000-yard season in the Matt Nagy system. And he doesn't drop at the frequency that Slayton does. Winston says OBJ was a cast-off, a cancer to a team. Who are people pondering for him? The Eagle fans. Joe Ferry says, no, they're talking about Travis Beckham. Tommy 2 sucks. Now use the money on a guard, even if it's just for depth. Tommy, I got to talk to you, brother. We got our situation situated. Got our situation. I'll DM. I should just get your fucking number. Joe Spanos has been on fire in the comments all offseason. Joe, that's why we're gonna have Joe on. We're gonna have Joe on. It's gonna be Mongo and Joe show. In my opinion, Dexter needs the guy next to him to be a bigger factor. But the problem is, if you run a 3-4, the guy next to Dexter is going to be a defensive lineman. It's going to be a defensive end. Think 86-3-4. Leonard Marshall, Jim Burt, George Martin. Flanked by Banks and Taylor, Carson and Reasons. And if you're flanked by Gary Reasons, know what you need to do? Go to Amazon right now. Reasons to Believe. I still think I believe the Kindle book is $1.49 still. I got the Kindle, and then the wife bought me the hard copy. I read the book already. It's like 137 pages. But it's a good 137 pages, and it's a lot of good. I don't want to ruin the Carl Banks story. I don't want to ruin any of that. So go buy the book. Be honest with us. With Giants offense running the ball, we're really were we really top 5? No. Bring back CJ Board. Slayton is an awful wide receiver. Everyone portrays him to be. He's an adequate 3 who had his 2 worst seasons back to back and is on a bad contract. You're right. You're 100% right. I've said that the day Slayton re-signed, I laughed because he was like, well, I want to go to a winner. This is last year, not this year. I was like, well, why are you signing with the Giants then? And then when he signed for the contract, everyone's like, whoa, what a great deal. I kept saying, no, this is a guy that people don't forget the drops. I had to go back like 4 years to the Tampa game and be like, does anyone not remember the Tampa game? Or is it just me? Mr. Rod says, is Harbaugh telling us it was coaching? The only move we really made is to change our green dot. We signed a few prove-it deals, brought back a lot of the same depth players. Oh, actually, no, we didn't. We did bring back some depth players. The Azuda and the Evan Neal deals are no-brainer. No-brainers. Because if you get anything out them at the veteran minimum, you're gold. You're gold, pony boy. Stay gold, pony boy. But if Tremaine Edmonds is your green. We talked about, to your point, he's the green dot guy. Isaiah Likely is your starting tight end / slot receiver / wide receiver. Darnell Mooney is your number 2. You got a steal of a deal in Jermaine Illuminor. You did. I mean, like I said, I saw somewhere that the Giants' grade for free agency was a C. If you look at the amount of money they had in regards to the talent they brought in, how can you say it's a C? Day one is a banger. Day one, A+. Day 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, B. Solid B. Nothing wrong with a solid B. Because of the fact that you have to look at the cap space you had and the amount of players. I think the wife's texting. It's not a burner account, just a wife. You have to look at, my statement is ready. Next preview. Dominic. My garage door camera's off. Why is the garage door camera off? Why is the garage door camera even on? Someone explain that one to me. Someone run upstairs and check my garage door. For some reason the camera's off. Some reason the camera's off on my garage. I don't know. I don't know why the camera's off. Giant would say, please, what do we got here? Please, Giant fans, an old give up the Odell Beckham. He's going to be 34 in November. I think it's time, when you reach a certain age, when you were younger, you have all these toys you like to play with. But when you reach a certain age, you put those childish things away. You put those toys away. Now, I'm not saying Odell Beckham is childish because of the fact that I think he had a wonderful NFL career. A lot of it was marred with injuries. But he is a guy that if you just take a look at it right now, it's kind of time to just put childish things away and kind of move on from OBJ. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing terrible about that. Just sometimes you reach a point where you need to stop. Tim, your thoughts on Carter's number change? I think the amount of sacks he'll have. Oh, I really don't care. I really have no opinion on him wearing 3. I think Malik Neighbors made fun of him a little about it. It does. I would have stayed with 51. I mean, Dick Butkus. I mean, 3 is 3. He wants to change his 3. Let him change it to 3. He could change it to, he could be 00. Showed Sports and all the followers are already hating on Love at 5. No, I didn't get a chance to see Ruben Baines' pro day. I've been busy all day today. Because we sometimes have to deal with, and a lot of people deal with this now. We have to deal with a lot of uneducated football fans. And Jermaine Love makes even with Tyrone Tracy, Cam Scatterboo, and Devin Singletary, makes sense. If you take a look at what Matt Nagy runs, if you take a look what John Harbaugh likes to do, and what John Harbaugh has done, it makes sense. Is it the right move for the Giants? Probably not, because I still think you have other issues. But you're looking at a guy that at 6 feet, 220 pounds, runs a 4.36. It's an investment at the top of the draft that if you look at it, it fits the system that Matt Nagy likes to run, going back to when he had Howard and Tariq Cohen. This is a guy that rushed for 1,370 yards, 18 touchdowns on under 200 carries, added 27 more receptions for 280 yards and 3 more touchdowns. He broke Jerome Bettis's record for total touchdowns in the season with 21. He had 2 runs of over 90 yards. He won the Doak Walker. He was All-American and finished 3rd in the Heisman. He's a guy that just, You worry that at his size, I think he'll bulk up a little bit. That could he be that 20+ carry guy? I think he can be. Is he a guy that is solid in pass protection? Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. But I don't want him pass protecting. Is he we've always talked about the route tree and how certain wide receivers in my mind have a high level route tree that they can run so many different routes that they and we've talked about this ad nauseum during one of our streams. And I look at it and I say, there are guys here that don't have, a high. Carnell Tate, to me, is a professional wide receiver who has a high level route tree. Same with Jordan Tyson. But I'm going to tell you this: Love is not one of those guys. I wanted to see Ruben Baines' pro. I did not get a chance to. I think Ruben Baines is a guy that can be moving up the charts. People will be mad at Scat for joking about CTE and then joke about his CTE and then have talented wide receivers who do that like Hopkins for like what? And there are talented wide receivers. Do you do that like for a while? Yeah, okay. I might have to read that. I might have to read that comment again. I'm very tired today. I got up early today. Thanks for the kind word, Joe Ferris. Cam Scattaboo is turning to an AB after hits. Oh my god! Where are we at here? I could tell Harry Carson was concussed by John Riggins. He had to listen to the next play, what Belichick was calling, but he couldn't hear because he was concussed and still played through it. Yeah, it's called having your bell rung. Mr. Greg says it was when Leak tore up his knee, OBJ made his comments about the turf being unsafe. Well, I agree that, yes, that the turf caused the injury because here we go. We're going to throw the ball and wait, he stops because he has to. He jumps midair and that's where he tore his leg. So unless the turf jumped up in the midair, that's not what tore his leg. Those country roads aren't calling you, Tim. They were. It's still a little chilly though. It's a little chilly though. But no, I am not. I'm not going to West Virginia. I'm not going to West Virginia. I mean, what's good? And whoever lives in West Virginia, I'm not okay. You know, I'm not going to make a West Virginia joke. Off Broadway, man, you can get me fucking trouble. Pound that like button and other lives. Let's see. After lives is over, head to the mighty FanDuel. You know what, Joe? They can go to FanDuel now. Joe, our audience is smart enough that they can go to the mighty FanDuel, go to Amazon, buy Gary's book. But evidently, we're not smart enough to hit the fucking like button because there's only 33 likes. 33. We should be at 43. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for accolades or praise. I ask you to hit the fucking like button. Is that so difficult? Oh. Great balls of fire. You know, I may do a video tomorrow. I don't know on what. I don't know what the topic will be. But I might do a video. I haven't decided yet. I gotta figure that out. Should we do a video tomorrow, guys? Maybe I'll do a video for what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Maybe we'll do a video for Thursday. I think that could be fun. I don't know on what. I got no fucking clue. Also, go over to the Huddle, which I believe is on the Giant channel, and Gary Reasons, Super Bowl champion and author Gary Reasons, joins the Huddle for New York Giants. Go over the huddle and watch Gary. Go watch Gary's stream. Give Gary some love. Go buy his fucking book. Go now and buy his book. It's $1.49. No, I was making a joke since Sills. Oh, Bryce Week for Jerry Rice. Oh, you're right. Damn, that was like 20 books on Amazon called Reasons to Believe. $30 for a hardcover, $1.50 for the Kindle, $19.99 for the paperback. Help Gary out, man. He's gonna write another book. Someone jokingly said, if I buy another book, someone jokingly told me, if I buy a book, will Gary come back on next stream? Yeah, it was like 3 weeks with Gary Reasons. That's what we should call it. That's what we're going to call it. You know what the new show is called? Gary's got another book he's working on. I'm going to have a new show with Gary, and I'm going to call it Sunday Reasons to Like the Giants with Gary Reasons. Joe says, I was a little kid. The first book I ever read was Sims to McConkey, Blood, Sweat, and Gatorade. I have that book. I have that book somewhere. Before Reasons to Believe, this is my favorite book, The Winter Within. I got tons of copies of these. That was my favorite book. I got you, Joe. Joe, I got you, bro. You and me, man. I got you. I'm with you, Joe. I got you. Hey, James says hit that like button. Trotter played well against West Virginia 2023-2024. He makes good tackle. Josiah Trotter Jr., I think it was last year, a couple of years ago, did not have the same affinity for the position at linebacker than his father did. But I'm telling you right now, Josiah Trotter, downhill tackler, does not get lost in the sauce. You trade Kayvon, get back up into the third round. You take Sonny Styles. You take Josiah Trotter in the second round and Caleb Banks in 3 because you're going to get a third rounder and you fix part of your defense. You've created a linebacker cord with Josiah Trotter, Sonny Styles. Yeah, it's going to be tough playing 2 rookies, but this is a building team. And Tremaine Edmonds. And you also have Micah McFadden. You're going to have to still find another linebacker here and there, but you're creating a nucleus. Keyshawn the Bruce says, I like Tim. What's good? Everything. I bought the Kindle on Amazon and left Gary a review. All right, Joe. Did you mention the show? Did you mention me? Because you got to mention me because I should get a cut. Because you got to mention me because I got another giant guest coming on. We're going to have another giant guest come on Sunday. And his name is not Gary Reasons. So I'm just throwing that out there now. And we're working on another giant top 100 player for the following week. But not if we're at 37 likes. That's disgusting. People look at it and go, how can I come on the show? He's got 37 likes. What the fuck? Joe Spano said in the third round, Banks is probably worth the gamble. With the foot concerns, I'm nearly not as interested at the top of the second round. Oh, no, Banks, I'm not interested at the top of the second round at all. Banks is first-round talent. Banks could be, without the foot issues and some of the other issues, Banks could be a top 15 guy. Banks is close to Joe Spano. Trotter 2024 stat, 37 solo, 57 assists with West Virginia. Tackles, 43 solo, 41 assists. Trending up. Fuck being nice. Joe, man, I'm trying to be nice, man. Trying to be nice. I'm a professional. Someone told me the other day, and I actually thought it was kind of funny. They told me the other day. They're like, well, Tim, you always laugh. Well, technically, you are a professional. You get paid. You get paid every month. Like, oh, yeah, I do. So, yeah, I'm a professional. Ever watch the show Gold Rush? I love that show. No. Right now I'm in the midst of watching Twilight Zone episodes, all the old ones from Rod Sterling, because I watched a documentary one night when I couldn't sleep about Twilight Zone and Rod Sterling and how he fucked himself on that show because he sold 60% of his residuals and the rights to the show for syndication because he sold it for like $400,000 back in the 60s because he never thought anyone would watch The Twilight Zone. So he kind of fucked himself out of that. Giants are re-signing Plaxico Burress. James Stein said, well, I was going to get another guy named Banks. The last guy was a joke, and we're going to take him to third round. Oh, God, we're screwed. How about Carl Banks? JS Sports, Chode Sports will report that. Let's see here. More likes. I'm talking baseball. The Mets are starting a rookie talking baseball. I'm not sure we got enough pitching. Funny, J Sports really funny. What's up, James Williams? No more bets for Tim. Oh, James, you're not working today. Come on a minute. I want to talk to you. I didn't get a chance to talk to James enough today. Only talked to him for 2 hours. But I didn't get a chance to talk to James enough today, so I got to talk to James again. This is the problem I am having now. This is the problem I'm having with now. I'm having with StreamYard. It won't allow me to invite guests. And they told me they fixed this. So I have to do it this way. I'm talking baseball. Come on, James Williams, talking baseball. OBJ was never a cancer. Teammates loved him. He produced at a high level. OBJ problem was non-game related antics left you scratching your head. You mean like smoking dope in bed with the French model? Allegedly. When it wasn't legal? Tim, the defensive line the Giants had last Super Bowl was good as well. Not great as legendary players, but history will remember. I remember this. Matthias Kiwanuka and Jason Pierre-Paul each having 80-plus tackles in the last Super Bowl on the outside because they understood their assignments and they could play the run and rush the passer. Remember we beat Tom Brady twice. Odell's in the garage. I don't know why the cameras are going off in the garage. If anyone's trying to steal one of my bikes, that would be bad. Ask James in the Coyote attack. Teams that win free agency rarely win championships. NFL championships are built through the draft and finished through free agency. We've said this before. You're building through the draft and augmenting through free agency. Joe also says Marshall Green, genius, sarcasm alert.
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
Jay Sports, what's up, Jay Sports Coach? Nope, Joe, he's stupid giant Twitter post. Oh my God. What's up, James? Sounds my brother. Over under 85 wins for the Mets, James Williams. I'm going to go to the Mighty FanDuel right now, and I'm going to bet over 75 wins for the New York Giants. Big Tim, any opinions on Bryce Lance? My boy calling him a sleeper. I don't know about that. I did some work on Bryce Lance the other day. Hold on. Which is funny you brought that up. That's the kid from North Dakota State, 6 feet, 200 something pounds. He's one of those sleeper kids, 51 receptions, 1,080 yards, I think 8 touchdowns. I want to say, it's a smaller school. His father, I remember, played in the Canadian Football League. He's the first wide receiver in the history of the school to have back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns. He's a consistent catch guy. But you got to remember at the FCS level, it's a little bit different. You're not going to find many stalwart corners in that division. But that hasn't stopped small school guys before from making an impact. I think he's a little slow off the release. I worry that he is going to be a Jalen Hyatt. I worry he's going to be a Jalen Hyatt at a much bigger size because even at a 4.3 speed, he does not explode off the blocks. We're talking baseball. The batteries and the bulbs talking baseball.
Baseball's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming quick, and so is Jason Tatum.
That's what she said.
We're not talking about that. Baseball. You said baseball. You didn't say basketball. Even though go Knicks tonight.
Go Knicks tonight against the Pelicans. Going towards another 50-plus win season in the Knicks. Oh, we got T-Brad. I just see T-Brad jumping in as well. James, you and
T-Brad, shout out T-Brad.
Shut up. Stop talking to people. I'm professional now. Professional. Look, I'm professional.
No, you got the mug. It's
They
nice.
don't give you these mugs if you're not a professional. OBJ. Mr. Beckham Jr. Mr. One of the best wide receivers, most dynamic wide receivers. I still say Amani Toomer is the best career wide receiver the Giants have ever had.
Yeah.
Probably outside of Homer Jones, the most explosive Giants wide receiver in the team's history. 34 years old in November. You and I have the exact same amount of catches that he had last year. Even on a veteran minimum, because of the fact that he made a spectacular catch against Jake Paul or Logan Paul or whoever the fuck it was. Why? You even said it, that one of your friends said, why is he even talking about this?
No, last night I seen the post for your stream today. And I know we were talking about this maybe a few months ago, but it's like at this point, it's like I'd rather give that money to a young kid or a different veteran who really wants to prove themselves than a guy who honestly is probably just looking for a last few paydays. Because Odell Beckham, he shouldn't be. If he was anything in the tank, he'd be on a roster somewhere, or he'd be in camp, or whatever. He wouldn't be looking for. We wouldn't have to be thinking about bringing him here. No way.
And it's suspended for peds last year.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like I heard you say that before. I was getting ready. Like I forgot about that. I forgot about it too until someone brought it up in the chat. That's fucking ridiculous. Like I don't know what it's this infatuation we have with guys. But listen, in a few years you're gonna have people saying we should bring Daniel Jones back for a couple. He can mentor on how to fall down in the open field.
You have a good pulse in reference to some of the younger generations because of some of the things that you do and some of the things that Mrs. James, soon to be Mrs. James Williams, does. And I've kind of reached a point now where I kind of see the fact that between the NIL deals and these players getting paid in college, that I think the mentorship portion now is overrated. Because you got some of these guys that are making more in college than their first couple years in the NFL, and they're coming in a little bit more with a little bit more life experience. And I just don't see a lot of these kids listening to someone like an OBJ when they're like, dude, I made more last year in college than you're going to make this year in the pros.
I mean, I know what you mean. In a weird way, it's probably underrated because of what you're saying, or it's going to be underrated in a few years. Because if you look at I think we were talking on the phone with the basketball, the kids, and again, they're kids. So it's, kids are going to make mistakes just like adults. But on the St. John's game with Kansas is a big program. You're a big program. And on something as simple as just stop ball, play ball, they let the kid, go one-on-one with the other kid, go right down, he hit the layup, game's over. And it's like, I wonder if even moments like that, like you go over and like, hey man, you want to dart out there and kind of stop the ball, or you bring it back to football where, our young dudes, Dart and Scadaboo, seem to be very, if I have to dart in between 2 or 3 guys to get 2 yards for the first down, I'm going to do it. But it's like, we may not need you to do that. We can punt the ball. There's always another series, another down. So are they going to listen to somebody? Now they have a new voice, there's new coaches. Usually with a new voice and new coaches, it kind of, hits a little harder, because, this guy's fresh, he's here. It's not the same old drum you've been hearing in the last few years, but I think in a few years, what you're talking about, it's going to become underrated. Because I don't think these kids are going to listen like they used to.
Even at $1 million, even at veteran minimum, which is like 1.2 million, even at that contract, OBJ, do people really? If you're we've talked about this earlier in the stream. If you're the 4th or 5th wide receiver, you're going to have to play special teams. Do you see OBJ running down as a gunner on kickoff or breaking the wedge? Or
no, and honestly, we wouldn't want him to. We wouldn't want him to because it's a higher chance of him getting hurt.
But a 4th, 5th wide receiver, we use David Sills as the poster child. If you don't play special teams, you don't make the roster.
Usually, no. And again, even with the the mentor point that somebody brought up, it's like you think about him, his time here. Okay, he's older now. He is a Super Bowl champ. He is a veteran, but after he left here. But coming back here with the guys we're going to bring in, and we are going to draft another young wide receiver, but with the guys here, who's he going to mentor, really? It's like Malik Neighbors' trajectory is kind of already on his, where it's like, I'm already a top wide receiver in the league, when I'm healthy. You got a guy named Darius Slayton where, what's you going to tell him? Don't drop the ball, And then you got other guys here, like a Calvin Austin, who we brought in, a Mooney, you bring back a Hodgins, or is he going to help Jalen Hyatt get out the darkness? Like, who is he really going to mentor? I don't know if I want him talking to the young kid. We draft a young wide receiver in the draft this year. I don't know if I want OBJ being that guy.
Well,
talking to him.
I will say this about OBJ. He could probably tell the young kids, listen, if you're going to be in bed with the French model, make sure you're not doing drugs and then you post the video.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't have to post everything, kid.
You don't have to. And speaking about being in beds with the French models, we are. I have not seen the philosopher in a while because he's busy. He works. I have a job. Show off.
Some of us do have to work. Yes.
Fucking show offs over here. What's up, philosopher man? Where have you been? And don't tell me.
I'm working on my. To be honest with you, man, I've been working on my 3rd book. So I'm writing, man. Writing like crazy.
Oh.
Are you really working on your 3rd book or are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm being dead ass serious.
I thought you were making fun of Gary Reasons.
Nah. Gary sound very intellectual, man. I'm not surprised he wrote a book.
I'm surprised he came on here twice.
How y'all doing though?
Chilling, bro.
We're trying to figure out this OBJ thing. We talked about it an hour ago. I mean, soon to be 34-year-old wide receiver. Didn't play all last year. You, me, and James combined have the same amount of receptions that he had all last year. Also suspended for PEDS. Will be 34. Hasn't been healthy since 19. And there's a segment of Giant fans are like, because he made a catch in a flag football game in the back of the end zone, like, wow, yeah, we could really use that guy.
It was a cool catch.
It was a great catch.
It was really cool, but nah. You know who OBJ is right now? He's Jenny at the end of what's that? Forrest Gump, right? He's Jenny at the end of Forrest Gump.
Wait. I
know where he's going. Go ahead.
So the Giants are Forrest Gump, right?
Wait a minute. Wait. So OBJ's gonna die and leave a kid to Cam Scatterbo because Cam is pretty much forced.
Right. Well, first we got to accept him back before he has the kid. But yeah,
okay,
you don't have the kid.
You got to explain this one. I'm good at analogies. But you got to explain this.
But no, like Jenny, he's been through some rough times.
True.
His best days are over.
True.
You feel me?
The prime is over.
The prime is long over.
The prime is over, like Jenny.
If you want to squeeze some juice out that turnip, you can. It's just not gonna taste that good. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean?
So you're saying Jenny didn't taste that good?
That's what she said.
I'm sorry.
Did you see her at the end of that movie? Whew.
Yeah, she was holding down a job as a waitress.
She didn't look like young Jenny by
Well,
the end of the movie. It
no,
was.
that's
Oh, Lord.
He's saying like she had limited options, and
Right.
and we came back around like Forrest at the right time, perfect time, right when she needed a little uplift. So I get what he was trying to say.
Okay. I was gonna be like, well, you know what he's like? He's like what's his name in Predator 2 when he got killed in the train. I mean, I was waiting for something like that. I'm sorry. Bill Paxton. He was like that in Predator 2. Okay, well, I don't know where to go with that one. Let's go to the comment section. Kayvon is a bust. Can't trade him for value. He's useless. Trade him for draft picks, I guess. I've said this before, guys. We got to get back into the third round. This is not a talent-laden draft in reference certain for majority positions, but this is a draft where positionally, if you look at it, it's the strength of what the Giants need that is the focus on this draft, and that's going to be linebackers, defensive tackles, and even wide receiver. I mean, I feel that, you know, if you got your starting quarterback with that third round pick, I feel that, you know, it was then a good move. But on a team that needs so much, would Kayvon for like a 3 and a 6 make sense for this team?
I'll jump on it.
A 3 and a 6? You have to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just someone's got.
You're kind of shooting for the moon there.
What else do I got, man?
I mean, honestly, I would take him even for a player trade, like, you know, some kind of. I thought we could get maybe a higher caliber wide receiver than Calvin Austin or Darryl Mooney if you do a Kayvon in there, you know. And then along, like you said, I know we have defensive holes, but we have to draft a young wide receiver. You know, you can't go into battle with what we have right now.
I love T. Brad because I was talking to T. Brad yesterday about a couple days ago about the softballs. Because he's always lobbing them. Hey, Tim, if I want to go bet on the Knicks tonight, where should I go? Oh, themightyfanduel.com. FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America. We've talked about before. You can go play with house money on the bet reset token for 10 days, up to $300 in bonus bets. Go to FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America. I love it. This one, Mr. Perry is correct. OBJ ran out of $100 million.
This fool was on private jets like every day.
He has expensive habits, man. Models ain't cheap.
Is he married now, OBJ?
Nah, he got a baby mom's though.
I love this one. Jenny was diabolical.
Yo.
Well,
I don't want to be. Yo,
if you think about it, you know, all right, I'm just going to do this real quick. Forrest came into a lot of money by being the shrimp boat captain, and then Lieutenant Dan dropping the Apple stock, getting all that shit, all that money. Jenny comes back around, one night stand, gets knocked up, and then leaves Forrest, comes back with the kid. Jenny's a little bit of a trifling hoe.
Yes. Woo!
Jenny.
What's saying?
Jenny got Forrest kicked out of a Black Panther party. That's hard to do as a white soldier coming back from the war. You know how hard that is to do during them times? Got kicked out. You got to go. You're busting up the party.
One of my favorite lines will always be, "Star had to fight your Black Panther party." And that show we will also talk about this more on Rico Suave and the Angry Black Man. Make sure sports, entertainment, everything that we probably shouldn't say. That's going to be the new podcast coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely, we shouldn't talk too deep into that.
As soon as the Angry Black Man stops dragging his feet. Speaking of Angry Black Men, James Stein is in the chat.
That was good.
I am a professional, guys. Would you like to see
that was good.
Would you like to see the mug to prove it? I am a professional. James, what's up, my friend?
Not much. Just been listening to you all afternoon. That's what I've been doing.
OBJ.
OBJ thing.
What's that?
As far as the OBJ thing, I don't think we need him. He wouldn't do much for us anyway. And as for Kayvon Thibodeau, yeah, I would trade him, try to get anything would be better than nothing.
Well, that's what we've been getting production wise out of Kayvon Thibodeau. But I think the bigger question is, James, true or false? Jenny Triflin Ho. Think
True.
about it. True. Drug addict, left her aunt. There's a lot going on with Jenny right now. And philosopher, I hate you because this is going to stick in my head now. Now I'm literally going to go back and watch Forrest Gump. And I don't have 3 hours because Off Broadway said it best. Jenny was diabolical.
Come on, man. If Bubba would have survived, he would have been told him, like, Forrest, you got to get away from that trick. You're bugging. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't give her half the shrimp boat business. Stop it.
Listen. Let's be honest. Bubba would be Cam Scatterbo. So
No.
really,
We're not putting that on Bubba.
You really think that Cam
No.
would be giving expert advice?
Bubba knew more about shrimp than Scatterbo knows about football, apparently, if he doesn't know about CTE. Let's be serious.
Well, you can boil it, you can fry it, you can saute it. There's so many things because it is the fruit. Shrimp is the fruit of the sea. Just throwing that out there. Just philosopher, I hate you.
Hey, this isn't as bad as
I'm gonna be doing Forrest Gump all fucking day today.
this ain't as bad as Brian McKnight's new wife. So
Stop. We're not going back down there. Snowpiercer, Carl Banks. We know, yes, she's hot. We get it.
You're damn lucky I took out Brian McWhite.
Hey, you know what? Hold on. You know what? You should ask James and Philosopher this. On your Brian McKnight point, Tim, don't say anything.
I won't.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott not marrying his wife that he's got 2 kids with? And she's pretty attractive too. She's nothing to sleep at. She's all right. So what was the problem there? Why didn't he pull the trigger on that?
wasn't they? Didn't they just get engaged?
They were engaged, about to be married in a few weeks. He has 2 kids with her over the last couple of seasons, and all of a sudden they called it off because she went and signed the prenup.
Ooh, damn.
So,
and James, I'm coming to you next. You better get ready. Your answer ready after Philosopher.
Yeesh.
come on, Philosopher.
What happened there? Because she's attractive.
She found I don't want to get too dark here, but I'm gonna say she found a backup plan. She found it.
Oh,
Okay.
She found a
you didn't see
backup.
that coming, did you? Oh yeah, it's nasty.
But you have to remember, Dak was smart.
Are you crazy? Playing stupid.
Stupid as stupid does.
Oh my God.
I am a professional. Just gonna throw that out there. OBJ was with his baby mama for a while. He left her messing around with Kardashians for a couple months.
Oh, well, then it's over. He went into the black hole of black athletes, the Kardashian. No. Once you date a Kardashian, your career is over.
My head is holding. I'm going to Snowpiercer myself because my head is
over
after the black hole of Kardashians.
No, it is. It's over. Once you date a Kardashian, Google how many athletes those sisters have dated. I'm just saying.
That's why. But I also remember the comment we had about the guy's feet hanging out the ambulance.
I'm just saying. Rashard McCants, Lamar Odom, some of these guys, they just. Oh, Miles Austin, Cowboys. So I didn't catch that pass.
Say we got anything football related. Joe Spano. Joe Spano, there's a link in the chat. Come on, quickly save us. Save us.
That was football related.
For the love of God, somebody save us. I think Hardball and company locked Shane in the broom closet after he brings everyone coffee for the draft. I agree.
That would be the smart thing to do.
That would be the smart thing to do. Let's see. Every team has hits and misses on draft picks. The bad teams with the worst record are the ones with the least of their homegrown talent. Please stop losing New York Giants homegrown players. I mean, we brought back Evan Neal.
That's funny.
We brought back Joshua Zuda.
Another funny one.
I mean, we brought back, Kayvon Thibodeau's still here.
Jalen Hyatt's still here.
Jalen Hyatt. For the love of God, can someone explain to me the Jalen Hyatt thing? You guys are all intelligent.
Maybe they
Explain.
plan on using them.
Plan on using him how? He can't get off the fucking line. And then when he does get on the line, he doesn't catch the ball.
He doesn't play special teams, right?
No, he doesn't.
Jesus.
He's very special.
He doesn't do anything.
I mean, the most special thing about Jalen Hyatt is he probably rides the special bus. But
Philosophy. He doesn't play special teams. No, he doesn't get out there and do anything. No,
like, bro, what do you do?
And it's funny because Tim literally was just talking about how wide receiver is lower on the depth chart. You have to play special teams. Malik Neighbors is not getting out there, but trust me, some of you other guys are gonna have to get out there. But no, Jalen Hyatt is so bad, we don't even trust him to go out there and make a tackle.
Right now, if you look at this,
he's too small.
Neighbors, Mooney, Slayton, and Likely are not playing special teams. And yes, I understand Likely is the tight end, but he played 250 snaps in the slot last year. He's not playing special teams. So anyone that is your fifth or sixth wide receiver or tight end or running back, like Devin Singletary, is going to have to play special teams. Because in fact, my third running back, again, who you're probably not going to get many carries, cannot be your only role. I mean, you go back to 86 with the Giants, the likes of like Tony Galbraith. Yeah, he was only a third down back, but that was a different time. Dave Meggett returned punts and kicks and was a third back and was also a slot guy and potentially someone that ended up in jail. But that doesn't count. But he still played special teams. So these guys, that are beyond those four are going to either have to, be on the kick return, be on the punt return, or return kicks.
Well, you had that Banks, the so-called defensive back. He was doing kick returns for a while too this past year. So
he was, but
yeah. So I mean, I need him to do it some more. In case
not saying to keep everyone, just actively trying to get rid of them ASAP.
Okay.
I think you just got to get rid of them. I think you got just give it someone this, and Philosopher, I'm going to start with you. Give me a reason why to keep Jalen Hyatt.
Oh man, he got some inappropriate pictures of somebody.
I'm going to rephrase this. Give me a reason why you keep Jalen Hyatt without laughing.
Only reason I can think is you don't draft any receivers in this upcoming draft, so you have no choice but to keep them on.
But no, we brought in a bunch. Listen, I'm not dummy texting or sand puppeting or whatever it is. I'm looking at my messages on my other phone because I have my other email on this phone and I'm looking at my commodities. So I'm not. Whatever I was accused of doing, I'm not doing that. I'm just looking at that. Okay. Just gotta.
That was a lot of explaining, Carl. Keep it going, Philosopher.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you don't draft another receiver in the draft, then I guess it's the only way that you can really justify keeping them. Because if you draft another receiver in the draft, then what receiver would you get rid of out of those receivers that Tim just said that are not better than Slayton?
Well, here,
they're all better than him.
Wait, I'm gonna run down this list real quick. Malik Neighbors, Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt, Calvin Austin III, Gunnar Olszewski, was Isaiah Hodgkins, and Bo Collins is still on the team.
Shit, Gunner's better.
So who are we moving? What's his name? We also brought in Xavier Gibson and Jalen Hyatt.
So Xavier Gibson is your special teamer.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you already got special teamers, so he literally has no place on the team.
That's what I'm saying. It literally doesn't. Jalen Hyatt doesn't make sense. Listen, I was all for drafting Jalen Hyatt. I admit it. I was happy if the Giants took him in the second round and then you watched what he did when Hendon Hooker got hurt and then he didn't miss a step with Joe Milton. You kind of thought, and yes, I know a lot of his production came in like 2 games, but you kind of thought he had something, Devontae Smith-esque. But then when you watch him not have the ability to get off the line using his own speed and quickness, and then when he finally, and this is the thing that kills me. I have a very astute group here. What do you think his successful catch percentage for his career was or is currently right now for Jalen Hyatt? Successful catch percentage over the last 3 years.
He doesn't catch 5%. What do you want me to say?
Now, all right, James, what do you think his catch percentage was for the last 3 years?
Less than 5.
Well, no, guys. No, come on, guys. The average wide receiver is between 50 and 60%. So what do you think?
God.
What do you think is a philosopher? Help these guys out. Help these two out. What do you think his catch percentage was?
15 to 25.
Well, you know what? You were close. Last year it was 28.6.
That's better than I thought it was going to be.
The year before was 31.6. He's got a career 38% successful catch percentage.
Well, it's so low, man. You would think it'd be just 5%.
Well, no. If you're at 5%, you're not going to be in the league.
I was going to say he's only at 38 because he's in a uniform and he's in the league. And when he's on the field, there technically is a chance for him to catch the ball. But it's like 38% catch rate.
Oh my God.
If you worked at McDonald's and you were 38% good at the French fries, but you were burning all the rest, you get fired.
If you only had a fry completion percentage of 38%, you
get fired.
Be on the fryer.
No, we got to take him off there. James, get off of that. You're killing sales.
I gotta
boy.
Get to these 2 questions here. Oh, Big L. Big L says we all got SP wide receivers. They are all special. We do have a lot of special team wide receivers. We do. Every time Leaks gets injured, Hyatt will be like, "It's my turn to step up," and then because he is in the darkness.
Nah, I keep laughing at this kid. He had all year to step up. Our last year was a great chance for any player on this team. You clearly had a time and opportunity to play. Anybody, even all of our quarterbacks even played. So anybody at any position, even the kicker, like anybody at any position, Evan Neal, you could have got your mushroom behind off the bench and played. But no.
Listen, the Evan Neal thing was healthy scratches vis-a-vis Brian Dable, and then Squints.
Squints, right?
So I'm not going to blame Evan Neal but when Jalen Hyatt finally got into the game, this is a better way to put it. He had 14 targets last year. They targeted him 14 times. How many receptions do you think he had in 14 targets?
4.
Close. 5. 5.
Has he had a touchdown in his entire career? Has he ever had a touchdown?
No. Darius Slayton does.
Jameis Winston.
That's funny.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
I joke with James in my car. My car does not get great gas mileage. And James, I always joke because I always tell James that my car is getting better gas mileage. He goes, "What are you up to?" I go, 8. So I'm up 8 miles a gallon. So that's Jalen Hyatt. How many catches? How many balls thrown? 14. How many caught? 5.
He's been here 3 years and he has no touchdowns.
No.
That's a waste, man.
At least in 24, where he started 3 games, he had 19 targets and 8 receptions.
That's his
I'm
best.
sorry, but you're saying that like you know what you dang. Every time I see philosopher, I just keep thinking of Brian McKnight walking out the door.
Okay, this is now Jalen Hyatt is a speedster, correct?
Supposed to be.
Yes.
We can all sit here and say that he's a speedster. And you would think that he would be targeted deep down the field. Right?
Yeah, nobody can throw deep down.
Okay, but wait a minute. James, shut the fuck up. We are going to say he should be targeted deeper down the field, correct?
Right.
Okay. So the question is going to be, what do you think his yards per target is the last 2 years?
Oh no. That's a trap question.
Of course it's a trap question. That's what I do.
Yeah.
What do you think the yards per target? Anyone take a guess what the yards per target, or do we want to sit and think about it for a second?
Well, you said yards per target or yards per catch?
Yards per target, not yards per catch. Yards per catch. Now I want everyone to think about this for a minute, because we are going to have a while we're waiting, we're going to have a musical interlude. Have you ever crossed my mind?
Oh my God.
You shouldn't have brought it
That's
up.
what we need to do. We need to move on like Brian McKnight.
From Jalen Hyatt, like Brian McKnight did, from his first wife, because his second wife, according to the philosopher, is hot.
That's what we need to do. Him and Evan Neal. We need to move on like Brian.
But okay, all serious now. Take a guess. Yards per reception, attempts. In other words, how far down the field do you think Jalen Hyatt traveled before the ball was thrown to him?
15.
15. We got 15.
Yeah, I'm
James?
gonna go with 15 as well.
15. James?
Nah, I'm gonna put some respect. I'll say 25.
No.
Damn.
Yards per target last year, which is the number of yards down the field that he traveled before the ball was thrown to him, last year in 2025, 2.5.
What?
Last year in 24, 3.3.
Man, that guy's a waste of a roster spot.
Yes.
How is that even possible? Like, doesn't like 3.2?
3.2.
Yeah.
Last year it was 2.5.
You know,
All right, Tim, I got a good question for you about these draft picks.
Shoot.
So what we noticed before Harbaugh got here, what I noticed before Harbaugh got here was they always like protecting these draft picks. No matter how trash they are, they protected them, right? Especially Joe Shane. But what doesn't make sense to me is you hire John Harbaugh and you're still protecting the picks. And some of them don't deserve to protect. I get it, but some of them don't deserve the shit.
All right, well, I'm going to break this down for you, because that's what we do here. The Joshua Zuda pick, bringing him back, I think is more of a camp body. I think it's a filler. If you get anything out of him, it's going to be you got a camp body. The Evan Neal pick, 7th overall pick, did he get an opportunity to truly play last year at the guard? And we've said this before. If you take a look at, people think, well, and they think it's Madden, especially people like Chode Sports. They're like, well, we'll just move him to guard. Everything will be fine. Well, if you've never played guard in the last X amount of years, it's a whole different philosophy than playing tackle. It's a whole different style of communication between you and the center. We've talked about this when Will Hernandez is here, and I think the biggest issue that Andrew Thomas had in his career in the beginning was the fact that Will Hernandez, was a horrible running man at guard because they never communicated. Because if we watched, a lot of times Will left Andrew Thomas out to dry. And there was times that we saw, especially in his rookie season with Andrew Thomas, he was trying to block two guys because there was miscommunications between Will Hernandez and Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas becomes an all-pro. All of a sudden has this epiphany when Will Hernandez goes out with COVID and Shane Lemieux comes in at the guard position. All of a sudden, Andrew Thomas knows how to block. and we all think Shane Lemieux is garbage, even though he did win a Super Bowl ring. We all understand that Shane Lemieux was not a good player, but all of a sudden he communicated more effectively and didn't leave Andrew Thomas out to dry. And all of a sudden, Andrew Thomas, after that point in time, starts progressing to an all-pro level. Evan Neal, to his detriment, was the stupid burger comment. We can all agree the comment with the burgers was fucking stupid as shit. And I think he did that more out of frustration. But a guy is 6'7", 340 pounds. He's not quick off the blocks on the exterior, but you put him on the interior portion of the line, you could find something special. And if you actually take a look at the way he played before he went out 2 years ago, he actually played pretty well. He wasn't horrid. And the thing is this, it was his stupidity that really cost him the fan base. But one of the things that he said previously, which I agree with, is I could play a game and I could have 45 snaps and 43 of them are technically sound. I could give up a rush. I could give up a bad sack. All everyone does is focus on those 2 snaps. And he wasn't wrong, because if you actually go to the Venerable Pro Football Focus from 2 years ago, he was not horrid in pass. He had some bad looking plays, but he wasn't horrid in pass protection or the ability to run block. It's just at one point in time you reach a misconception, a misperception of the way he's playing, and he was actually right about what he said. So if you have him on 1.2 million, and you sit there and you bring him in for that. Run, doggy, run, doggy. We saw this happen once before.
Coyotes.
It's the Coyotes. You see that, and you're only bringing him in for $1 million. Why not? What are you gonna lose for the 7th overall pick 4 years ago, who has the body and maybe not the mental fortitude? But I watched him in camp. He didn't play terrible at guard. He just didn't know the position. So why not bring him in for the camp? You cut him. It's non-guaranteed. You're not losing anything. And it just, you know what? And to the fact is, there is no attachment with John Harbaugh. So there's also no astigmatism or misconception of what he was 3 years ago or 4 years ago, because you got a new coaching staff in here.
Fair.
Well,
But what about Jalen Hyatt?
Well, as I Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. At this point in time, I don't know why Jalen Hyatt's still here.
the only thing I'll push back on the Evan Neal factor is, again, that guy's been here long enough. And when Dabo got fired and Squints comes in, Kafka, if I'm Mike Kafka, and again, we're not on the inside, we're all on the outside. All of these, we're all on the outside. If I'm a guy like Kafka and I know Evan Neal can play, and maybe him and Dabo just didn't vibe, and that's why he was on the bench, I'm going to put his big behind out there, because that's going to help make me look good.
I'm actually going to stop you right here. What does Mike Kafka is trying to secure a job? Mike Kafka is looking at potentially being the next New York Giants head coach or the next head coach at Furman. Why would he take a chance in playing a guy that could cost him wins? Potentially, we don't know, but he could potentially cost him wins. Wouldn't, because Squints, he's one of these guys. Why would you play a guy that may not help you produce wins?
No, you just hit my point. If there was any chance of the future hot dog broiler to get off the bench and help him, he would have did it. But the fact that, God's here. But let me just finish this point. If there was any chance for the future hot dog broiler to get off the bench and do something, Squints would have did it. But the fact that he didn't do it, because like you said, he's worried about it, that must mean this guy, potential level, it might not be as high as we think.
Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. We got to bring back James Stein.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man? Where have you been, man? Don't tell me working.
That's usually the answer.
I know it's the answer. I just told you don't tell me that. Damn.
I didn't say it. You did. I just agreed.
Listen.
I didn't say anything. You said something. I agreed.
Good point. Yeah, the wife is upset with you.
What did I do?
I think
that you texted me on her day off. She's got 4 days off, and you tell me, "Oh, we should. It's a beautiful day. We should have gone down to Peddler's Village." Her response was, "Why didn't that motherfucker text like 3 hours ago? Because we weren't doing anything all day long."
I wasn't thinking. I was like, man, because we didn't go, obviously. And I was like, man, the weather's great. I was like, the weather's great. I said, man, we should have went to Peddler's. And it was like, when I realized it was already late, I'm like, damn. By the time we get there, we got to get back, pick our daughter up. I said, I had so much for day drinking.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to work on that. Make sure you're hitting the like button. We only have 43 likes. I need to get 50 likes. I got to leave in a few minutes because the wife's going to be coming home, and I haven't started dinner. But Mr. T-Brad, we haven't seen you in a while, brother. What's up?
Hey, man. I was on here a couple weeks ago. I think real quick.
Couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I was here.
Well, but,
how's everybody been though?
Chilling, brother.
We're a little
loving the Giants moves. Loving the Giants moves.
Ask brother T-Brad what he feels about the Evan Neal and the Hyatt, as we just broke that down so eloquently.
I'm going to ask him another question first because I think this is a more important question. Is Brian McWhite's new wife hotter than the old wife?
I don't know either of them.
Well, that's the new wife.
My God.
What's the old wife look like?
My God.
That's too much work.
For you know what? For his sake, yes.
Okay.
The new wife looks better.
Okay. Go ahead, James. Ask your question.
Brother T-Brad, in your eloquent opinion, what do you think the reason is why Harbaugh brought back the Evan Nealster off the bench to hopefully not ride the bench again, even if he is on a veteran minimum, as Tim pointed out, where it's basically cost us nothing? What do you think the benefits are to that?
Exactly what he said. It was a bargain basement deal. I mean, if you're going to get somebody for, the cheapest you can get, at least get somebody you know something about. Maybe you're hoping you can unlock something. I mean, you need another body there. Signing him isn't going to prevent you from signing anyone else. It's not going to matter one way or the other. But if you get him on the cheap, why not? I understand it. What you talk about, Jalen Hyatt?
I was gonna say versus isn't that the solution? Basically, that's the same thing as the Jalen Hyatt move. We're hoping that we can get something out of him, even though I guess it's not really costing us anything more than it already was.
This is last call for alcohol, but for them, it's last call for a career. So these guys are really holding on to their careers with high promise. Like Tim said, I was excited when we got Jalen Hyatt. I was like, yeah, now Daniel Jones will have somebody fast to miss, overthrow the ball through.
Miss.
Yeah, and now he's got a new target to throw inaccurately to. But,
I can't hit him. He's too fast.
Yeah, but
you don't throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt never became even a tenth of what I thought he could be. But you hold him. But I still think in this draft we need to secure a wide receiver. I got a couple that I'm keyed in on in the second round. If they're there, Chris Bell, KC Concepcion. I don't think Concepcion.
I like KC Concepcion.
I don't think KC Concepcion will be there, but if we go other than wide receiver, because as much as I like Cardinal Tate and Ohio State wide receivers, we don't need a number one necessarily. We need a good two. And even though we got Darnell Mooney and the people we got, I'm looking to get a strong, young offensive core. Everyone young. So hopefully we get a wide receiver.
No, I like that. I mean, we definitely, like I said, we don't need a number one. Like, you don't have to go first round. But like I was saying to Tim, I think despite all our holes on the defensive side, and philosopher, I don't know what you think, but I definitely think with that second pick, it has to be a wide receiver because there are some good young guys out there.
I think if you look at the way they made the move so far, it's shaping up like they're going to get, for sure, O-line talent in this draft. For sure. I mean, oh, damn, here you go. But
Yo, you didn't. Yo, go ahead, Flash. You didn't have to do that to girl.
Sorry.
The first one looked
Yo, you didn't have to do that to Shorty, yo. Come on. Oh my God.
why you gotta
Yeah,
have her in the
philosopher,
regular
yo.
clothes and shit? He got the turtleneck on.
I'm gonna take the first. I'm gonna take the first wife.
Here we
All day
go.
long.
Come on, man.
Oh,
all
God.
day long.
Come on. First wife, hotter wife.
the
Which
first
one is
You
it?
gotta stop. Come on. He didn't drop the kids too, though, man. It's deeper than rap with this, man. This is sad.
Time out. The first wife is coming damn close to the second wife, and the second wife is in her wedding dress, dressed to the nines, doing the best she can to look good. She looked like she
Well,
just
that's a good
stepped out
point.
the restaurant. The first wife looked like she just stepped out the restaurant, is not even trying. First wife by a landslide to me. That's my vote.
Okay, philosopher.
Well, I mean,
We already,
you got
we already know
the
your vote.
I was gonna
the
say,
first-
why are you asking, brother?
the
For like
first
we
wife is
know.
hella natural. I love that though. But it's like you can't really compare them when one is in regular clothes and the other's in a wedding gown. You know what I mean?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I already knew what she looked like.
I just did that. I just compared them.
Yeah,
Okay,
It could be
yeah, nah.
James, that's your answer?
No. Like, I mean, I already knew what she looked like. I'm just saying you can't put her up there. Come on, man, that was crazy. She's up here in the wedding gown. She had her hair done perfectly. She didn't slept like this, so she could, out there look pretty. Like you can't do that. They just walked out of Fridays, man. They had the all the appetizer,
Fridays though.
You guys are tough.
Brian McKnight wouldn't go to Nobu like Fridays.
Oh, yes, you know what? My bad, T. It's Brian McKnight.
Peter Luger's or something.
You gotta go to Friday.
Yeah, it's Brian McKnight. My bad.
He's got R. Kelly. He doesn't have R. Kelly money.
Whoa.
Listen, R. Kelly don't even have R. Kelly money anymore.
Exactly. You guys are tough.
Shit.
That was crazy.
It's not easy to be a professional like I am. That you could just
Nah, if you really professional, Tim, you got to get both comparable pictures, bro. You got to get the wedding photos next to each other.
No. You want to be professional? Put Dak Prescott's girl up there. Show philosopher. Like he turned that down. Like she's actually not bad.
He turned
if you like that
because of the prenup, though. We've
discussed.
But you're already invested with the two kids.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Child support only lasts so long. Alimony could be for life.
Alimony could be forever.
Listen,
only lasts
oh my God! Did you found another good picture of the other one? You're being biased. You're cheating the game.
I'm typing Brian McKnight.
Come on, man! You found them on a white couch in the middle of the desert. Get out of here!
It's a white card.
Get out of here!
It's a white card.
What do you want me to type in? Brian McKnight's second wife looking ugly?
You found them outside coming out of Nobu, like T-Brad said, and then these others like got the wedding picture. Now we look like we're at a Diddy party in the all white. Like, come on, man.
I'm a '90s nostalgia person, and she just looks 90'd out. And
she does.
Women of the '90s, please go back and do your research. The women of the '90s, the look, the naturalness, far surpassed the BBL era of women.
I love our fan base. Brian McKnight got bread. Back at One was a crossover hit. First wife, sure, confirmed. Prescott fumbled hard. She is, says Big L Gigante.
That though. She's attractive. I'm just saying. Like you got two kids in. That's gonna be a long 18 hard years. Like you said, child support, but she's gonna make you work for them 18 years.
Listen, I'm not saying she's a gold digger. I'm not saying she's hanging out with what. But
she's not messing with no broke individuals.
Exactly.
I will say this. I'd like to put a public disclaimer out there for all women who are dating. I don't want to say a high value man, but a man who has a lot to lose as far as they're making in the upwards of millions professional. Just sign a prenup and be a good wife, and a prenup becomes a useless piece of paper. Just sign a prenup and be a good wife. Because if you truly love the man, the prenup shouldn't be a problem. If you won't sign the prenup, you're basically telling that man you have an end game. Who's that? Who's that singer? Tony Braxton. She's not even like that.
I said if you like that.
No, I'm saying like I see like 10 of her at Cherry Hill Mall. She's not like that. She's not like I'm not impressed.
That's actually not really a great picture of her either, though.
Today.
Oh God, James, the other one's too good.
Yo, you're bad. You're killing me. Yeah, I'm just saying. You found the Target picture. They look like the couple at Target.
Not fine.
Yeah, and I'm not saying she's a bad looking person. I'm just like I'm not impressed.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's the FCC.
That's the dinner bell. That's the dinner bell. That's the dinner bell.
That actually is the dinner bell. I would love to continue because I found some good pictures of both Brian McKnight's, but I do have to take this phone call. Because I'm like,
because you don't want a picture up there with your next wife, so you got to play smart. Public service announcement. Because the dinner when it's time.
The philosopher. My next wife, my second wife's got to be hotter than the first, but that's not going to be possible.
Oh my God! Now you're gonna get cut. Now you're just going to stop piercing.
It doesn't matter who's hotter. It matters who's going to find your medication when you need it. That's what matters.
Versus that other one who's going to push it farther away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're choking? You're choking? You can't breathe, huh? It's okay. I'll dial 119.
I'll dial 119 right now.
Oh, yo, quick question. What state was Dak trying to get married in? Was it California or Texas?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
Blowing me up, but here, just for the last segment. There you go.
There you go. That's a better picture. There you go.
That's a much better picture.
Thank you, T. Brad. Our brother over here, he's finding out the Target pictures.
There we go. All right, I gotta go now.
All right, brothers.
All right, my brothers.
That's the 2-alarm bell. Love everyone. Giant stuff. Blah blah blah. Believe. The Mighty FanDuel. We're out of here.